That's in page number 93. Okay. So homage to the Buddha. Hyo so bhagava arahang sama sambuddho sawakhato hena bhagavata dhammo supatipanno yasa bhagavato savaka sangho Tammayang bhagavantang sadhammang sasanghang Ime sakare atharahang aroapite apipuachayama Sadhuno bhante bhagava sucira pariniputopiyan Pajima Janatanu Manasahan Ime Sakare Tokata Vanagara Bhute Patikanhatun Amhakang Dikaratang Hitaya Sukhayan Arahang sama sambuddho bhagavan Utthang bhagavantang apivatemi Sawakhato bhagavata dhammo dhammang namasami Supatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho sanghang namami Hantamayang buddhasa bhavakanamakaran cewa buddhano sadenayanca karomasihin Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Tangho bana bhagavantang evang kalayano kete sato abhagato ete peso bhagava harahang sama sambuddho veja charana sampanno sukhato lokavito Anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati sata deva manusadang Vanto bhagavanti Hantamayang buddha pikedeng karomasihen Vantavarahanta tikona piyoton Suthapinyana karuna hisamakataton Ote siyo sujanatang kamalam vasuron Vantamahang tamaranang sirasa cinintang Hunto yo sapapaninang saranang kemavatamang Patamano satetanang vantamitang sirenahang พุทธัสสะหะสมิทาโสวะพุทโธเมสามิเกสโรพุทโธดุขัสสะขันธาจะมิทาตาจะหิตาสเมพุทธัสสะหังนิยันเตมิสริรันเจวิตังเจตังวันทันโตหังจเรสามิพุทธัสเสวะสุโพธิตังนาทิเมสารนังอัญญังพุทโธเมสารนังวรังเอเตนะสัจวัจเจนะวัฏัยยังสัตตุสาสเนพุทธังเมวันธมันเนนะยังพุญญังปัสสตังอิทัสสัพเพปิหันตรายาเมมะเหสุตัสสะเตจัสสะกายนวาจายวะเจตสาวาพุทเตโกกัมมังปะกาตังมยายังพุทโตปฏิกันหันโตอัจจยันตังกาลันตะเรสัมมริโตวะพุทเตหันธรรมายังธรรมานุสตินายังกโรมาเสสวะคาโตภะคะวะตาธัมโมสันเทติโกหะกาลิโกเอหิปัสสิโกโอปะนะยิโกปัจจตังเวทิตาโพวิญโยเหเตหันธรรมายังธรรมาภิเกติงกโรมาเสสวากาตตาทิคุณโยกวะเสนะสยโยโยมาคาปะคาปริหาติวิโภคเปโตธัมโมกุโลกปัฏนาตถาทาริธาริวันธามหังตมหารังวรธัมมเมตังธัมโมโยสัพพะนินังสารนังเขมวัตตมังตัวติยานุสติทานังวันธามิตังสิเรนะหังธัมมาสาหาสมิทาโสวันธัมโมเมสามิกิสโรธัมโมดุขัสสะขาตาจาวิทาตาจะหิตาสเมธัมมาสาหังนิยาเตเมสริรันเจวิตังเจตังวันทันโตหังจเรสามิธัมมาเสวะสุธัมมตังนาทิเมสารนังอัญญังธัมโมเมสารนังวรังเอเตนะสัจวัจเจนะวัฏัยยังสัตตุสาสเนธัมมังเมวันธมันเนนะยังปุญญังปัสสตังอิทัสสัพเพปิหันตรายาเมมะเหสันตัสสะเตจัสสะกายนวาจายวะเจตสาวาธัมเมกุกัมมังปะกาตังมยายังธัมโมปฏิกันหันโตอัจจยันตังกาลันตะเรสัมวริโตวะธัมเมหันธรรมายังสังขานุสตินายังกโรมาเสสุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆ โอจุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆญาณปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสามีจิปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆยาดิทังจัตตาริปุริสโยคานิหัตถปุริสปุคคลังเอสาภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆอาหุเนหิโยปาหุเนหิโยตากิเนหิโยอัญชเลกรณิโยอนุตรังบุญญาเขตังโลกัสสติหันธมายังสังฆาภิเขติงกโรมาเสหิสัทธัมมโชสุปฏิปันติคุณาติโยโตโยธาปิโตอริยปุคคลสังฆเสโทศีลาทิธรรมปวาราสยกายจิตโตวันธามหังตมริยานาคานังสุสุทังสังโฆโยสัพปานินังสรณังเขมหัตตมังตติยานุสติทานังวันธามิตังสิเรนะหังสังฆาสาหัสมิทาโสวะสังโฆเมสามิเกสโรสังโฆดุขัสสะคาตาจาวิทาตาจหิตาสเมสังฆาสาหังนิยาเทมิสริรันเจวิตังเจตังวันทันโตหังเจเรสหัมมิสังฆาโสปฏิปันนตังนาทิเมสรณังอัญญังสังโฆเมสรณังวรังเอเตนะสัจวาเจนะวาทะยังสาธุสาสเนสังฆังเมวันทมาเนนะยังปุญญังปัสสุตังอิทังสัพเพปิอันตรายาเมมะเหสันตัสสะเตจัสสะกายเนวาจายวะเจโตสาวาสังเกกกัมมังปะกะตังมยายังสังโฆปฏิกันทันโตอัจจยันตังกาลันตเรสัมบริโตวะสังเขหันธมายังสารพันเยนะบุตมังคลกาทายโยภานามาเสสัมพุทโธเทปะทังเสโตเนเสโนเจวามันเจเมนวันทันโยบะภะภะเกจันหากานะเยจากังสัพพุนสาริพุทโตจาดาเกเนอาราติเยวะภาเรจังปัจ ตาเรเอสาเนเปจาราหุนเยเมโกมังกาลาบุตังสัพเพเยตาปะเตเตตังวันเดตาเตจัหัมเมหิสักการะจาบุเจตังเอเตสังฆานุภาเวนะสัพพโสเทวาวันตโนเอเจวามจังทานามาสนัยยังนามาสัมมาโนรัตนาตายังยังปุญญาเวสันทังเวปนังอาลาตังตัสสะนุภาเวนะหะตังดารายโย Do the sitting meditation. Namattu Ratanatayassa. May I pay homage to Triple Zen, the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. So we have just reflected on the virtues of the Buddha, his qualities, and his teachings, the Dhamma, and his disciples, the Sangha, reflecting the purity, compassion, and wisdom of the Buddha, and the teaching that leads us to the right path, preventing us from falling to the darkness, and also the Sangha community, those who are practicing in accordance with the teachings of the Buddha. So this is a time to reflect upon ourselves. And this reflection about our own self by simply being here and now, by being present of the body and the mind. Not expecting anything in return, and meanwhile, not being negligent, but being mindful and establishing ourselves on this path by observing the body, observing the mind as you are sitting here and now. In terms of the sitting position, whichever position you feel comfortable, and you can maintain in that position for a significant of a time, about 30 minutes. And maintaining that posture, and if possible, no movements, keeping the stillness of the body, and maintaining awareness of the sitting body as you're here and now. And this body is like a post where we keep our awareness and being here and now, because body always in the present moment. And making sure that this body is sitting very comfortably and relaxed, no tensions around. So body is one object that we keep our attention to be. And there are various ways to keep our attention focused. And those ways, we can use any objects as an object of focus attention. It could be colors, the words, the signs or objects. Now, whichever you've been practicing, whichever you feel comfortable, you can use it as a means to develop a focus attention. By simply focusing on it and developing one-pointedness, being single-minded. A similar way in the Satipatthana, one of the famous Buddhist discourse, explains that this body as an object of focus attention. But due to this body is so huge and so big, an area is so many there, a breathing as the one part that we pay attention to. simply mindful of the breath coming in and going out. So be mindful of the breath coming in and going out as the primary object that we are developing the focus attention by paying attention to it as it comes in and as it goes out. You can even verbalize mentally, breathing in, breathing out. As it comes in, consciously making a mental note of a breathing in, and when it comes out, consciously making aware of it by making a note of breathing out. So this will be the tasks of our practice for tonight. There is a primary object, the breath coming in and going out. And try to be with it and developing focus attention on it. Meanwhile, whenever other objects arises, simply noticing them and bring it back. Bring the mind back, leaving that object. Doesn't matter what thought arises, doesn't matter what you are thinking about the future. Simply be mindful of that this is an object that arises. Mentally making a note of it and let go. And back to the moment as you're sitting, breathing, and consciously being mindful of it. So continue practicing until the end of you hear the gong. So we'll have a 5 minutes break. You can have hot water, tea, coffee. You can just go into the kitchen, and through the kitchen there's another door that takes to the toilet as well if you need. Evening, Margaret, Yvonne, and everyone. If you will have just a 5 minutes break, and then we'll come back for the discussion. Okay, so normally the floor is open for question and answer or any discussion. You are welcome. You can ask on meditation. Hello, Yvonne, Margaret, and whoever online here. I see five people here. So if you have anything you would like to discuss, you can just type and we'll have a discussion. And here we have the two members for the first time as well at the center. So you're also welcome. It's unofficial and we don't have any premeditated subjects as well. Okay. So you're most welcome. Any question or any discussion?
I found the guidance for the meditation was a very nice introduction for me anyway, and it made me relax into the meditation very very well. So I want to thank you for that.
Good.
I just have a very simple question. When I sit, my leg will be during the time. My leg just feel uncomfortable. I need to stretch. how to conquer? How to solve this problem?
First of all, you have to find ways to sit, and then after that, you have to practice regularly, and eventually you will be able to sit. It's not a one-day job. First, like let's say, there are different ways to put your leg, like one leg at front and another leg at. So this way is helping you to sit for a longer period of a time. So there will be no numbness with this. So one foot is at the front, so there's no pressing. So with this you can sit long. Another one is you're putting one leg up here, and this is also one good position too, right? Like that. Okay, so this is also a good position as well. And another one is called Lotus, half Lotus. So obviously you don't have to try. So these are three ways of sitting. You have to choose whichever sitting is comfortable to start off. You may start off, let's say, one foot behind, one foot at front, and then just making sure that you are sitting straight. You can put your hands like this or hand like this, just making sure that you are relaxed. Okay, and after that, doesn't mean that you won't get pain over here. Doesn't matter which way you sit at the front during the beginning time, you will get pain over here in both sides. And if you put like this way, then this one will not get hurt much, but this one will get hurt. Okay, there will be more pain over here. And then if you're sitting a little longer, the numbness will come here.
Yeah, numbness.
Okay. And apparently sometimes not numbness in this left leg, the one that is on the top, I will feel the numbness. Okay, and at this moment again, so you just need to bear the pain. Okay, but as you meditate for some times, then obviously pain will be there, but our reaction will be our option. Reaction, whether we simply respond it as, okay, I'm having a pain over here. Now, if we intensify it by saying that, oh, I'm having a pain in my leg because of this minus, the pain intensifies. Okay? And then goes on, oh, if I do not move, I won't be able to stand up. Oh, if I do not move, I will have more trouble, I will have more pain. And then that simply intensifies more and more. Right? And again, having said that, doesn't mean you can't move. You can. But the minimum movement is required, because practice of a meditation is not about physical exercise. It's about the mind, mental exercise. So when we are doing a mental exercise, and this mind is so tricky, it will find different ways, finding the cracks and then taking you through that cracks. So first it will say, oh, you can't sit. So already find a very tempting and plausible taking us from the meditation. I can't sit. Mind already tells you, you can't sit. I can't cross-legged. I can't sit still for a long time. So mind already told you, you can't, and you believe him, and you will not do it. So that's the first, in a way, it's a mara. Hindrances. So we like to have a comfortable, that relaxed. And there is no such position that you will be able to sit without any trouble whatsoever. Even just sleeping, you won't be able to sleep 1 hour in a same position. Yeah? And where is the comfortable position there? Even sitting on a chair, yeah, it's not possible to sit. Mind always tells us to move away. And here, the moment when our attention is paid to one particular object, then these pains and these feelings simply ignored. It doesn't mean there is no pain. There is those happening, but since when our intention is not there, it's just not happening. Okay, it's just like a next room. If there are people, so many things happening, we do not know. What we know is here. The same with our mind too. When we are paying attention to the object or the recitation or verbalization, or paying attention to any tasks that we are performing, then we will forget the rest of other things. Same with the pain as well. The pain is simply ignored. And like me, when I'm sitting, doesn't mean I don't have a pain. I do. But my response to the pain is different. I take it simply as one form of a feeling. Right? One form of a feeling. And even numbness, sometimes I do get numbness. And I use that numbness as way to be mindful of the numbness. And there's a beautiful way, when we are looking at this numbness, when it eases, the numbness simply fades. It's coming from the top, gradually become you're aware. The numbness simply goes off. And then the moment when it leaves, it's just like washing away from these toes. Like that. So you can feel that leaving, the numbness. But before that, you will have a pains and needles. Pains and needles in here and there. And then the more you move, then you will feel, you've been in your heart. But you feel, look at it, I'm having a pain. So you will look at it and then it just goes off. Like that. Then furthermore, if you really want to know it, then you just simply there knowing it, and it's if it's then intensified, then this pain itself has a color. It's like a dance and a fire dancing from intensified one place, another place is less, and it's just dancing. So pain, the level of the pain is simply dancing in different places. And then as you pay attention to that again further, what happens is that later we realize, the pain is not in our leg. It's already gone. But our perception that I'm having pain in that leg is still persist. In fact, that's already in our mind. And oftentimes it is in our heart. Okay? In our heart. So that's how we will be able to recognize the different levels of the pain feeling. And over the period of a time, pain is there and okay. And when meditating, the pain is not there. But as soon as you come out, then pain you will realize. Right? So like that. So it's a matter of a practice. So you can overcome and able to sit. And further on, if you're sitting, let's say, if you're practicing for 30 minutes, and you've been practicing for 30 minutes for, let's say, a couple of months or a year, then it will be comfortable. No problem at all. You will be able to bear a pain, and even you feel like this pain is nothing. Okay? But if you increase the time, let's say from half an hour to 45 minutes, and this 10 minutes that you have extended is the struggle. And you will struggle with your physical pain, your mental disturbances, mental proliferation, those things. 10 minutes. And then after working for about 10 minutes, then gradually it settles. Right? Gradually it settles. And then there will be only a couple of minutes of meditation, proper calmness, proper zoned in and relaxed. But for this about 10 minutes, you are on the battlefield. You're fighting with the physical pain, fighting with your thoughts and desires and sensations, and goes on. And sometimes it's like your heart is just about to blast. So you have to fight with it. You have to know, and then just saying that, okay, I have decided to be about 45 minutes, I'm going to sit. So that comes the determination, vows, adhitthana, if you have this knowledge. Adhitthana, that I'm going to sit for 45 minutes, But doesn't matter what happens, I'm going to sit. So it's like a standpoint that you are standing on this thought of 45 minutes. So with that, then there will be this fighting. And then yet, if we can persist our continuity, then we will arrive and find, oh, wow. And otherwise, okay, 35 minutes. Oh, it's enough. I have done 30 over. Enough. And you give up. And the same thing will happen next day. If you continue to say, okay, you decided to sit for 45 minutes, 35 minutes, enough. So it's like this, the kilesa, the desire, that simply comes and break that continuity. So this is a way. That's why we have to, like, oftentimes we have to make a firm decision that, okay, this is the time that I'm going to sit. And that moment, if you can't meditate, but continue sitting until the time.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone online? Okay, nobody has anything, question or any concerns. Okay. But practice make perfect. I always tell myself that the more you do, better you become. The more you practice, you will understand more about how difficult meditation is. In the meantime, how comfortable it is once we have learned.
So, what do you have some activities in this center? Because I don't know anything about it. Usually you just have Tuesday meditation.
We have regular activities for the teaching and discussions is on the Tuesday night. But meanwhile, every lunchtime, every day in lunchtime, our members normally brings dana or food to offer. So, and then we will do a small ceremony, like a traditional offering. And at that time, depending on members and depending on occasion and depending on the time, monks will give short reflections as an introduction, some teachings to take away to reflect in their life. And the weekends, again, based on different occasions we have. But normally during the lunchtime, there will be one family or one or two families coming to offer a dana. Further, more than that, we have different events. Like on a full moon day, we practice meditation all day from 9 to like this time, 9 in the morning to around this time, in conjunction with the sitting, walking, chanting, like that. And based on weather and good weather, we go out walking along that as well. And then events like the next 2 weeks time, we are celebrating, it's called Songkran, the Asian New Year. So we're celebrating on the 10th. And then following next month, in May, we are having two events. One is Interfaith Mindful Day, inviting interfaith members from Aberdeen to be part, and we will do a walking in the wood, and we'll have a lunch, and each members from a different faith will be contributing, sharing their thoughts from their perspectives. And this year's theme is lonely or alone. So this will be the theme of that the day. And following day on 15th of May is a Vesak Day. So celebrating Buddha's birthday. So these are two events. And June. In June, we have a few events. So in June, if I remember correctly, on the 4th, Saturday the 4th, we are having this ordination here. Ordination for 2 weeks, celebrating Queen's Jubilee. The Queen's Jubilee. Platinum Jubilee. And on that day, we are having, again, similar interfaith gathering as well. So will be few monks coming up for the ordination as well. So that 2 weeks are going to be very busy. And after that, I will have 2 weeks for myself. So I will go in the mountains, hiking, camping, like that. And then in July, again, we have another novice ordination. So on July 14th, 15th, I think around that time, our retreat starts. So Vasa, 3 months retreat. And during that time, again, there will be different events, meetings, teachings, like that. And this is like a yearly plan, and it will be October annual Katina ceremony. That is our biggest event of the temple. That's offering the robe, where community comes and sponsor the robe and food, and community come and celebrate, like that. So apart from these events, center offers meditation on every Wednesday morning, half an hour on Zoom, and that is run by one of our practitioners. And then there is meditation second Monday of the month. There's an online Zoom meditation going on, and this is again with the Grampian, NHS Grampian. And the third Sunday, we have a special meditation sessions for people in Europe. So it's been about over a year, every month. And then last Sunday, we have online meditation and Buddhist studies for people from America. And the last Monday of the month, we offer Mindfulness Mondays for people here in Aberdeen as well. And this is again with not online now. Now we offer at the Credo. So we have done it in person now. So this is again in collaboration with the NHS Grampian. Okay? And apart from that, every Tuesday to Friday morning, 6 o'clock, there is a group meditation online. This is in Thai language for people from America and Europe at 6 o'clock. So like that. So these are the activities. In the center here again, we have a big land over here. So volunteers come and help cutting the grass and planting the tree, and also have a kitchen garden where members come and plant some vegetables, and our members will take away, and we distribute to the members as well. So like that.
Oh, I got to break.
Okay. And now this is our another plan, building a proper meditation hall in the field, and also other areas that we have applied for further plannings. And that was, I just got the email, that's why I was reading when we were making the tea. So like that. Okay, so these are the activities and events at the temple.
It's a busy life. Yeah, that's good. It's good.
Yeah.
You cooperate with NHS Gramping.
Hmm.
I heard that it's about taught them how to meditation. NHS Gramping.
Yes, you meant that was mentioned. Yeah.
Yeah.
For mindfulness trainings.
Mindfulness Mondays.
Mondays.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then mindfulness trainings. Yeah.
So NHS Gramping will invite staff or patient to participate. Even staff.
2 sessions. We run 2 sessions. One for general public, one for the staffs. And this staffs doesn't mean only NHS staffs. Often the staffs from other organizations as well, including city council. We used to offer in city council as well, but it's too many, so that's why we cancelled from there. So like that. Okay. So last week I was reading Brahmajala Sutta. We still have a half an hour. I was reading Brahmajala Sutta, the first discourse from the Digha Nikaya. I thought I will continue. Let me open that file. So this Brahmajala Sutra is on. This is on the talk on the wanderers that last week I was talking about how the sutta began, and the story is that the wanderer and his student was just following along the path where the Buddha was walking from Rajagaha to Nalanda, and Brahmadatta, the wanderer, as a teacher, he was criticizing the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha, whereas his student was praising, and that discussion continued until all the monks and the Buddha arrived in Nalanda, and then there monks simply puzzled by hearing those discussions along the way, and that discussion, and then the Buddha, realizing that the monks are talking and discussing on a subject, came out and asked And in that case, the Buddha was simply saying that in case of somebody blame and in case of somebody praise, we should not be, suppose if somebody criticize, we should not be angry without knowing, and we, and at the same time, when somebody prays, we should not be elated. We have to check it properly. If you feel cold, we can turn on the heating, okay? Yeah, because it's timed already, off now, heating, central heating is off now. So, and like that, and basically Buddha is encouraging us not to be sad and not to be elated when somebody is criticizing or praising us. And further on, the second section of this discourse is on the ethics. And here ethics or a sila, Buddha divided into three sections. They're called the Chula Sila, or the shorter section, Majjhima Sila, middle length Sila, or middle length section, and the Mahasila, the higher Silas. And in this a shorter section, the discourse goes on saying, when an ordinary person speaks praise of the realized one, they speak only of trivial, insignificant details of a mere ethics. And what are the trivial, insignificant details of a mere ethics, and that an ordinary person speaks of? So the Buddha further speaks, saying, the ascetic Gautama has given up killing living creatures. He has renounced the rod and the sword. He is scrupulous and kind, living full of compassion for living beings. Such is an ordinary person's praise of the realized one. And a killing, this is again comes into the Panatipata, the first precepts. And in the sutta it's called Panatipatang Pahaya Panatipata Pati Virato Samano Gotamo Nihita Dando. So he will not kill any beings that has breathing. So that is the concept here. Now, and this normally here, the simile comes when we are meditating, and now particularly in Asia, when we are meditating, there will be a lots of mosquitoes. What would you do to the mosquitoes? And there will be a kind of a justified killing. Thought of a justified killing. In fact, we shouldn't be killing. In fact, we shouldn't be killing. We can do some preventive works, like using a net or using a lotions to put the mosquitoes away, like that. Otherwise, if we are killing, then that basically against with the so-called the compassion, against the compassionate heart. So there was a story of this killing and this killing mosquitoes, and you may have heard so many stories of it. Monks like smacking it, or monks is just what's called brushing it away. And there is one particular story I remember. One of my friends, he was meditating, and somehow he managed to ignore that mosquito bite, but later on he couldn't ignore it. The pain was there. So, and then he has this conscience of not killing the mosquito, but he just wanted to brush it away. So while his intention to brush it away, and he did it, but unfortunately this mosquito had soaked a lot of blood, and as he touched and brushed it, it died on the spot. And he saw that mosquito died, and that bothered him for a whole day. That, oh, I have killed this mosquito, but I haven't had intention, and I didn't have that intention to kill, but I just wanted to brush it, but it's killed. What should I do? So he went on manipulating, proliferating, thinking going on, and it disturbed him all day. So, and then at the discussion time in the evening, he mentioned that, and the teacher said that you didn't have an intention to kill it. Your intention was to simply brush it away. So, and then for him, for his comfort, and there is a so-called confession. It's called Aberdeen. And so the monk, he confessed with another monk, and that's how he was freed from that guilt of killing, like that. So that shows a level of compassion that a monk has. I remember 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, I was in Thailand and in a deep forest. And a mosquito is just like you are just jumped into the middle of the mosquito. So many mosquitoes, and in the night when the darkness starts, you will hear this humming all around, everywhere. And then we normally have a chanting in the evening and in the morning. Morning, not that bad, because the cold is still the coldness in the forest. But if it's in a city, then probably in the morning as well. But in the morning in this jungle forest, mosquitoes not a problem. But in the evening, it's really a problem. So we have to use this thick blanket covering, and meanwhile, wherever it's visible, we are using the lotion. And sometimes even those lotion didn't work. So we didn't meditate. We normally do the chanting and the little meditation, and straight away finished. Like that. So that was quite a difficult time. And even when we are sweeping, our legs are still on the move, but somehow it's not that moving. So they can simply catch you and stays like that. So that is also quite interesting, but quite fun to sweeping. As a long swiping, the broom, very long, and then sweeping for over an hour, and so sweating. So that is the one. Okay, so the Buddha has given up killing, so that's the number one. And then number two, the ascetic Gautama has given up stealing. He takes only what is given and expects only what's given. He keeps himself clean by not thieving. Such is an ordinary person's praise of the realized one. Actually, the translation here, stealing, not appropriate. This is the translation, should be not taking what is not given. So adinna dana basically means not taking what is not given. And stealing also, Buddha has given up. And this is stealing again, when we look at it, and the virtue of it, it gives a security and a trust. Whenever, like a person goes to others' house, if we have developed this not taking anything which is not given, then the host will feel comfortable and will not have any feeling of loss of any items, and that gives a security and comfort in their in their minds as well. So that's why it's a really another good ethics, which also comes in the 5 precepts. That's as a second precepts. The third, the ascetic Gautama has given up unchastity. He is a celibate, set apart, avoiding the common practice of a sex. Such is an ordinary person's praise of the realized one. Obviously, he has given up household life, so living a celibate. And Gautama here again, it's a nickname or a proverb, a pronoun. Okay. And the next is the ascetic Gautama has given up lying. He speaks the truth and sticks to the truth. He is honest and trustworthy and doesn't trick the world with his words. Such is an ordinary person's praise of the realized one. So whatever Buddha speaks, normally he will be speaking the truth. He will not lie. And that is for common. And then if you look at the Buddha's previous life stories, again, one of the main teachings, or one of the main principles that he never break, is telling the truth. So being Satyavadi, called the Satyavadi. So, and the truth that he abides all the time. And even after he became the Buddha, basically he maintained that. And further on, a divisive speech, also he has given up. Harsh speech, also he has given up. And also given up talking about the nonsense. And nowadays you can see nonsense speeches are going around, and people love to listen. But I think 2 days or 3 days ago, there was a huge story about in Hollywood. I heard the news. The Hollywood star in some event of giving a prize, and this man was speaking about this Hollywood star's something family matters, and he didn't like it and went on the stage and hit him. Hit him. But however, at the same time, when he got the prize, everybody praised him. So and that's also quite interesting to know. But here again, it's about the nonsense. Talking nonsense. So this is also given up by the Buddha. Further here in the nonsense, further it says, his words are timely. So the Buddha's words are timely, true, and meaningful, in line with the teachings and training. So he says things at the right time, which are valuable, reasonable, and succinct and beneficial. So that is the Such is the Buddha's quality. And further on, the Gautama, the ascetic Gautama, the Buddha, refrains from injuring plants and seeds. This is quite interesting one. Plant and seeds. So the Buddha do not even destroy the plants and even the seeds as well. And that is become one of the rules for the monastics to practice, not to destroy the plants and the seeds as well. And this sometimes quite disturbing to me, because we have so big land and when so many grasses grow, particularly in summer, and oftentimes I'm waiting for members to come and do it, and when they do not come, there is a temptation to do it. And then often when I do, some members do say, "You can't do it." And then when I say, "Yes, I know I can't do it, but what should I do? Should I leave it?" Then again, if I do not do it, they say, "Why nobody is picking this grass, cutting, chopping like that?" So it's quite interesting one. Yeah. And then further on, I think we'll just go fast forward. I will just go fast to meet the time. And then he has given up dancing, singing, music, seeing the music, shows, refrain from beautifying adornment, and given high luxury beds, and refrain from receiving gold and money, raw and grains, meat, women or girls, male or female, goats or sheep, chickens and pigs, elephants and cows, horse and mare, and fields and lands. And he refrains from running errands and messages, buying and selling, falsifying metal or measures, bribery, fraud, cheating and duplicity, mutilation, murder, abduction, banditry, plunder, and violence. Such is an ordinary person's praise of the realized one. Right? So these are known as the minor precepts that the Buddha practiced. In relation to the chickens and the pigs, goats and the sheep, quite interesting. Quite a number of members came up to me because of the land we have, suggested me, "Oh, Achan, can we have a sheep in our field?" No, if we have, who is going to look after? And then they say, "Achan, you live here." and then say, "Oh, I don't do it." And then recently, even last week, one member came up and say, "Achan, can we have a chicken coop?" So having a chicken and then have some eggs. So then we don't have to go and buy. So we have the field, so we can put the chickens on. And then when I ask, who's going to look after? Members will look after. And normally I will be here. So they said, "No, we can't do it." And then I remember 2 years ago, somebody came and said, "Can we have a pig?" But surprisingly, it doesn't say about the dog. Huh? Doesn't say about the dog. So wonder whether we can have a dog.
Cat.
Yeah, no mention of the cat either. So no dogs, no cats, only elephants and cows and horse and deers. So anyway, so we stop here. This in the minor, shorter sections of the Sila called the Chula Sila from this first discourse from the Digha Nikaya. So with this, anybody has anything before we practice loving kindness to finish off? No? Yeah?
Why did he give up music?
Sorry?
Why Buddha give up music?
Mu-
Music.
music.
Um, so is this?
Yeah. Music and songs as well.
Uh-huh.
It is regarded as when you are listening to music, you go along with your emotions, whereas practice of a Buddha's path is to understand the emotion. So you carried away the emotion, your emotion, and you lost into the emotion. Whereas practice of Buddha's teaching is to understand the emotion and not be overtaken by the emotion. And same with the songs as well. Right? But having said that, doesn't mean there are no songs.
Yeah, I think when in China we've got a lot of Buddhas, like Buddhism songs.
Yeah. There are. So that's called like a hymns. The hymns are acceptable, not the songs that it's like inviting for a relationship or those things are not. That's why anything that is related to the teachings and the training for your mind, and those are acceptable as a hymns or the poems. So when you look at the scripture, we can see even the Buddha spoke so many hymns and poems, and also the disciples, the monastics, both nuns, monks, and the nuns also spoke in hymns as well. So these are acceptable, but not as a song. Okay.
There are some beautiful Buddhist singers on YouTube. I love listening to Amy Oi, for example, and there are several others. And Tina Turner,
Yeah.
who many of us know from her pop singing
Mhm.
career, she also sings beautiful sutras.
Yeah. So that's like a modernity coming into the modern world. So we are just simply adjusting in that environment. Okay, so with this, let's practice loving kindness meditation to finish off. Okay. So adjust yourself and relax. Spend a few moments on your breath. Reflecting a few moments on today's discussion. Whichever subject you would like to take away and reflect in your day-to-day life. And now we'll practice the loving kindness meditation. So bring your attention to be aware of sensations in your body. And bring your attention to your hands. Be mindful of your hand and whatever sensations are there. Shifting that attention to your heart. So feel the sensation of this beating heart. And if you can't feel the beating heart, you can use your right hand and place on your chest where the heart is, or you can simply smile. So physically smiling, and that connects with your heart. And as you feel the connection with your heart, simply generating loving kindness and compassion to yourself. allowing yourself to be happy, at peace, free from suffering. You may mentally recite, I am well, I am happy, I am at peace. May I be free from suffering, free from physical and mental troubles. Similarly, extending a loving kindness and compassion to all other sentient beings. You may put your hand on your knee, the right hand, palms up. And whatever beings are there, starting from someone who is near, sitting next to us, members in the house, in the community, on earth, in the universe, visible and invisible beings, wishing them to be happy, at peace, and free from suffering. Or whatever beings there are, may they be well, may they be happy, may they be at peace, may they be free from suffering, may they be able to maintain their happiness. Take a long breath and release. And take a long breath and bring your attention to your eyes. And intentionally opening yourself, come out from meditation and reflect for a few moments. As you hear the gong, think of the kindness and compassion that you have shared to yourself and to others. Let's homage to the Buddha. Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhaṃ Bhagavaṃ Abhivādimi Sawakhato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Saṅgho Saṅghang Namami. Okay, thank you very much. Okay. Thank you, Margaret, Yvonne, and everyone here. So this is the end of today's practice. And see you tomorrow. Thank you.